New on Curiosity Stream.
With my infrared drone, I can see what others can't.
Drone pilot Doug Thron uses his bird's eye view for the ultimate good, saving animals from desperate situations around the globe. Join the rescue effort on a new season of Doug to the Rescue. And
You captured a Confederate steamboat?
We're taking the ship to freedom.
an enslaved crew, a stolen vessel, and a Civil War dash to salvation on impossible escapes. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
99.9 KISW. We return to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Philadelphia 76ers are playing in the Eastern Conference semifinal series a week or so ago against the Miami Heat. David Keller, probably don't know who he is, but he was sitting courtside Sunday night, mouth agape and counting sheep during the closing seconds of the third quarter. Sixers held just a 4-point lead at the time in a game that was basically a must-win to claw back into the series. The moment then was captured by the TNT broadcast and quickly went viral, as Kelcher was instantly a meme. After the game, the NBA on TNT crew called him and his courtside siesta, called him out a little bit. He's a little narcoleptic. It would be narcolepsy, according to Kenny Smith. He's not narcoleptic, Charles Barkley fired back. He's drunk as hell. That dude, drunk as hell. Answer is a bit more nuanced than that. Keller, the owner of David Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, told the Philly Voice on Monday morning. I'm a guy that knows how to knock a few back and stay up for hours and hours and hours, he said, explaining he consumed 4 vodka tonics at the game. It just hit me hard, and I closed my eyes. Totally unbeknownst to me that it was caught on national television. But to understand how Keller fell asleep in that environment, you have to look at how he spent his weekend before the game. Keller almost didn't make it to the Sixers game Sunday because he'd been in 3 different states during the 24 hours before tip-off. They say late Saturday night, he caught a flight home to Philly from Atlanta, didn't get in bed until 1. Then he was up again at 6 a.m. to drive to Annapolis, Maryland for his daughter's soccer game, which he attended before turning right back around for another 2-hour drive home, where he arrived back and had Mother's Day brunch with his family. I probably ate more than I should have. I was already in that kind of post-Thanksgiving Day meal mode when I got to the Sixers game. Either way, the guy was pretty entertaining to say the least.
Oh, yeah.
He's just out. He's courtside. It's kind of...
I mean, look, that's the perfect recipe. You're already tired, you had a big meal, and then you had a few drinks.
And you've been traveling like that, driving around, trying to take care of all the things. Bless you.
I mean, that's what happens on Thanksgiving, right? I know every year everybody goes crazy with tryptophan and this and that. It's
It
like,
ain't
well, no.
tryptophan.
Pick any day of the week you want. Pick any meat, not turkey, anything. Eat a massive meal and throw like 3 or 4 drinks on top. You're going to take a nap.
Oh, yeah. And then go back for seconds, even though you're not actually still hungry.
And you're not doing anything. You're not going
You have
anywhere.
nothing to
You're
do.
sitting and you're watching sports.
Right.
So you're not getting up. You're not moving around. You're not just even doing your normal routine as far as going to work.
It's the tryptophan.
Or even laundry.
That's what it is.
You're doing nothing but just focusing on what you're going to make and eat. That's all you're doing.
You've seen, like Mike and I, we had a little thing for a while where we would get barbecue on Fridays.
Yeah.
Right? So you're at work. So you get an order of barbecue, whatever the sides are, you go about your day. But also, like a few months ago, we had a random day off and I had lunch with somebody and we went and got barbecue for lunch. I had 2 or 3 beers and then I went and sat on my couch and woke up like an hour and a half later. I was like, oh, I dozed off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if I eat barbecue and have nothing to do after eating barbecue, guaranteed nap. Meat nap.
That's why I eat it at night, if I can. Where and when did you fall asleep? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Kay. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola.
Hey, a little quick side note. Hey, Thrill, I've been there before.
What's that?
Fell asleep, but I woke up and I finished the job.
No.
All right.
Yeah, that was a situation where, like, part of you feels motivated to do it, but let's just say things have been air dried for a couple hours. Like, let's go our separate ways for now. We reconvened after work, but in that moment, I'm like, I got to go.
Yeah. Well, so my buddy and I were partying for like 2 or 3 days, and you guys are going to do the math why we were awake. So we get on the street, 272nd I-5, and he looks at me and goes, man, I'm going to make sure you stay awake because we're working night crew at a sanitation cleaning facility. And I look over about 3 minutes later, and he's asleep. It's like, you jerk. So next thing I know, I'm waking up probably 188, realizing that I'm doing 55 in my truck, doing the same speed, and I haven't changed lanes. It's like, oh, my God, how the heck did I get from here to there? So we immediately slam on the brakes, pull off the side of the road. It's like, I think we should call in sick today.
And did you?
Oh, absolutely, sir, yes. I feel like, oh, yeah, I'm going to kill somebody tonight, and it's not going to be me or my friend or anybody else around me. But it's like, how the heck did I drive that
Luck.
far?
Yeah.
Have you done it again?
Yeah, but I'm in the same lane that I started out with. Like, oh, my heavens.
That's impressive. I just know that the times that I've done that, and it's the most dangerous thing I think I can do with a friend group that I have is we're going to drive all the way through. And more than likely the reason was because we didn't have enough money. We didn't want to pay for a hotel. We wanted to spend our money somewhere else, whatever the thing was. I don't know. Or we just felt like we could do it. But you drive in shifts. One person sleeps. One person drives.
Right.
You wake up. You rinse, you repeat. You do it again. The problem is that you know for a fact, man, if you doze off in that passenger seat, the chances of you're not communicating anymore with the driver.
Right. They're gone.
They're going to fall asleep. It's a recipe for disaster. It's going to happen sometime in that switcheroo. So I have a really hard time falling asleep. So it's almost like you're in this numbing daze. It almost feels like you're coming down from a drug bender. You're like such in a weird...
It does, because all the heaviness of how badly you need to sleep is just sitting there.
It's insane. It's like it's like almost like you're hallucinating.
Yeah.
Just through lack of sleep.
Tired.
I'll get the occasional, hey, look, I need you to stay awake to help me stay awake. Like, let's just stay at a hotel. Mm-hmm. I can tell you right now, I will be of no help to you.
Well, I mean, the lack of sleep, besides, like you hear about meth people, but besides, like, the meth affecting their brain, like, right, if you're up for 5 or 6 days, like, you're gonna hallucinate.
You do.
Drugs or not.
I did that once in my life. No drugs involved. I'd been up partying, but just alcohol partying. Probably some weed, too, but no heavy drugs or anything. And I'm working a security job, same as an office building, sitting at the front desk.
All right.
But at this time, I'm just working weekends. So, I mean, if 3 people come in all day, or at least all during your shift, like, that's amazing, right? So this was a Sunday. I knew I had not slept, and I'm doing everything I can to keep myself awake, because if you walk into this office building, I'm the first person you see, and it's just bad luck, right? So doing what I can, I get up, I pace around all this stuff. Well, at one point, and look, if you work any kind of security job, whatever, you hope nothing actually goes down. You don't actually want to have to deal with what your job description is. So I realized at some point, I can't smell it, but the building clearly, something is smoldering somewhere, because I keep seeing smoke everywhere. And I'm like, oh, no, man. But before I grab the fire alarm, let me get up and do the check. But everything I looked at was smoldering. And I looked down at my arm and realized my arm was smoldering. And then I realized I'm hallucinating.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because I was that tired. But I kind of pieced it together, but I'm like, oh my God, and there's still like 6 hours left on the shift. Never fell asleep to the rest of that shift, but everywhere I looked, things, quote unquote, were on fire. And I'm like, that's the one and only time I've been so tired that I hallucinate.
If you are on the overnight, I'm assuming that it's not protocol to be able to fall asleep.
No.
Well,
you're working the overnight.
Well, the first story we talked about today was a transcontinental flight.
Yeah.
We assumed it's 8 hours, which is a typical shift. Mm-hmm. For most people, at least. I mean, that's average. And you're legally allowed to get paid to fall asleep as a pilot.
Right. One of you.
So, yeah, you can fall asleep on that job.
Sure.
All right. I'm just saying, like, if you're to fall asleep working the overnight, put your head down on a board for an hour and a half.
Get in trouble.
You are in trouble.
38,000 feet.
You can also move around, though.
True.
Like, if you just put somebody in an office and was like, you have to sit in this office chair for 8.5 hours.
Yeah.
Then there's a chance you might be like, all right, if you doze off for 20 or 30, we're not going to be mad at you.
Even if it's like your lunch break.
Like, I mean, look, when I worked overnight, I mean, you know me, I tend to be a pacer already.
Right.
But when I worked overnights, I mean, yeah, every time there was a chance, I'd go use the bathroom or even just walk around.
Sure.
Kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. But the weird thing about overnight is there is no lunch break. You don't leave for a half an hour and go get like food at the 7-Eleven.
But you got to show up with what you're going to eat.
It just seems like you are in for the long haul. There's no real break involved in it.
But also the beauty of the overnight is they know you're getting away with everything.
Yeah.
Because there's no one there. So when I had to work overnights, man, and he can't smoke in the building, I smoked in the women's room. Every night. Choke down 5-6 cigarettes, whatever. And they actually send out a memo to all the women bitching about, hey, you got to stop smoking in the women. It took them 2 months to piece together that it was me. And I was like, yeah, I'm smoking in the ladies' room, dude. But there's nobody here. I used to blow the smoke in the toaster. You guys didn't even know. It doesn't matter.
Where and when did you fall asleep? 206-421-ROCK.
I mean, yeah, that's just, I love that story because, like, I almost feel like marijuana dissipates, but like cigarette smoke
does not go away. So I did realize, and that's why I was like, either the women's room, because I knew they blamed the ladies first, which they did. And at that time, I don't think any woman we worked with smoked. They didn't know that, but they always smelled the smoke there. And it's probably the building staff complaining about it. Or blow the smoke in the toaster, because people would confuse that for, like, burnt toast.
My toast tastes funny.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I did every night. Every night.
My toast tastes like a Marlboro.
Damn right it does.
Flavor country.
And you know what I realized, man? I would openly admit this on the air. So my boss did not believe that it was me at first. So, hey, man, I don't play the song. I got to play a short song, so I can't go outside to smoke. And I tell them there used to be a toaster directly outside of the studio. I'm going to blow all my smoke into the toaster. And it's one of those things, if you tell the truth unconvincingly, then no one believes you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm blowing smoke into the toaster. It's like, 2 months later, Bill Pash is like, you're goddamn blowing smoke in the toaster. Man, I told you 5 days a week for 2 months I've been blowing smoke in the toaster.
Bagels are fantastic.
Yeah, what do you want me to, I told you I was.
Where and when did you fall asleep? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Brian. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey there. How's it going, guys?
Positive Friday.
Well, so about a decade ago or so, I was in my early 20s and in the Army and in basic training. We were on a field training exercise. It lasted about a week or so, and I was with another guy in a guard tower. We had night vision goggles on, and we were supposed to stay up all night in this guard tower watching the fence line. And
hence guard tower, yes.
Do you see a lot of animals?
Actually, yeah, I saw some raccoons out there in Georgia.
I'm just wondering who's doing what at night.
Right.
If you got the vision goggles on, do you see owls swoop down? Do you see, what's out there?
Mostly nothing, honestly. Just the woods of Georgia.
Okay.
Some big ants. So the guy I'm with says, hey, I'm going to go to sleep first. I'll take the first nap, and then when I wake up, we'll switch out. I said, okay, whatever. And about an hour or so later, my batteries in my goggles start to die. So I try to wake this guy up, and he is out cold. Like, out cold. So I'm like, okay, my batteries completely die. I can't get the night vision goggles from him because he's got them clutched in his hand, and he's, like, asleep on the edge of this thing. Anyways, so we're in this basically like a hunting thing up in a tree, kind of, and there's, like, a table. So I am in a prone, laying on my stomach, looking out over the edge of this guard tower into the woods, just like into pitch blackness. I can't see anything. And the next thing I know, I'm being woken up, falling out of the tower. And the drill sergeant climbed the tower and pulled me out of it.
Oh.
Yeah, not fun. The guy that I was with was also asleep, didn't get in any trouble at all, and my punishment was sleep deprivation, so I didn't get to go to sleep for the rest of that week.
The rest of the week?
Oh. A whole week. And I had to follow this drill sergeant around everywhere I went and just stand at the position of attention. He told me I was a living statue. So in this week, I learned how to sleep standing up, like one of the other guys that was on earlier mentioned. That was a fun one.
Do you think you can still do it now?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I can definitely sleep standing up now. It's a learned skill.
Is that a skill?
Do you keep your eyes open?
No. You sleep with your eyes closed. Well, I do. I don't know about you.
So did he know you were asleep?
No, Miles sleeps with his eyes wide open. Creepiest thing you've ever seen.
Well, he didn't watch me like a hawk the whole time, but yeah, I had to stand at the position of attention, and if I wasn't at the position of attention, I had to do push-ups.
Jesus. Okay. Sounds like fun.
So, 2 days into this, my battle buddy finds a bag of Gatorade powder, and I had to keep that powder in my cargo pocket, and I was just munching on Gatorade sugar for a week just to stay awake.
Jesus, man.
How long did you sleep when this was all said and done?
Well, we had to finish that week up by a 12-kilometer ruck back to the barracks. So after that, I got to sleep for, I think, 6 hours before PT the next morning.
Damn.
Yep.
I mean, that was just like closing your eyes, then 2 seconds later, you're back up again.
That's a tough one, man. I feel that's why, like, if you go to Vegas, like, I don't want to land the day before I have to go back to work. I need at least a 1 day buffer, man, just to see.
From Vegas?
Yeah, because you know what you do in Vegas, right? It's 3 days of just complete debauchery. You know what you're going to do. You know how you're going to feel. And once I've come back from Vegas, I just came back to work, and I was fine at first because you kind of wake up with that, like the power drunk. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I might still be drunk. Dude, I got this. And about 3 hours later, I'm like, oh, my God. Like, I should go home, but I didn't. I'm just going to sweat and be grumpy all day.
Where and when did you fall asleep? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Mike. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bichola.
Hola.
How you guys doing today?
Doing great, man. Positive Friday.
So, you guys are trying to figure out where and when we fell asleep?
Yes, we are.
All right, so I pick up my kid almost every day on a Friday. Okay, so I guess long story short, I live in Tacoma. I work up in Everett, and I start at 4 a.m.
Ooh.
So come Friday, I'm exhausted. I live an active lifestyle, do things outside of work. Anyway, my son gets out of school at 3:15, so I parked my car at 3 o'clock, and I'm waiting for my kid to get out of school. I decided to shut my eyes for a second. Anyway, a second turns into 3 hours, and I end up picking him up or getting a call from his school, and I end up picking him up at 5:30.
So, but you were parked at the school?
Parked at the school. I could see the school from where I was parked.
So when they called you, like, literally, how long did it take? From the time you hung up with them, how long did it take you to get there to pick them up?
2 minutes.
Did you tell them that you were out in the parking lot the whole time you fell asleep?
I did not. I would have totally been embarrassed.
Okay. All right.
Plus, you don't know how a school's going to react. He's on drugs, right? Whatever the hell it might be. Damn, right there, Mr. Kid,
on
man.
drugs.
Yeah. Actually, my wife's done that a few times. There is a day of the week that the kids get out early for whatever the hell reason. And a lot of times she just forgets, right? I want to say it's Wednesday, right? So normally they get out, like he was saying, like 3:15, something like that. And Wednesday, it's either noon or 12:30. I don't know, but you forget because it's another weekday. You get into your routine. So she's going to power down and take a nap. Yep. And I get the occasional text and it'll say, "OF" in all caps, like, just got the call from school. And I look, I'm like, well, it's 1:45. What's the problem? She's like, early release day. I'm like, oh, Jesus. Oof. Oh, God.
So,
yeah. It's never a good look.
About a month ago, I am in a Mexican restaurant and sitting at the bar with my buddy. These two.
Why is restaurants?
Why is it in air quotes? Where you at?
I mean, it's kind of like it's a bar. All right, I'm at a bar. Maybe they serve tacos. Anyway,
you're at a bar that serves tacos. So the story is, I'm at a Mexican restaurant.
And margaritas, taco night, whatever. It's not really a Mexican restaurant. It's just what they have. Anyway, at the bar. So
it's just weird because we never would have questioned you until you went Mexican restaurant. What were you drinking out of a plastic cup at Taco Bell?
They have tacos. They have tacos. I just don't want to give too much information on this one. But it's so anyway. There's these two ladies beside my buddy, and my buddy starts chatting while I'm up, and he gets a number. And this woman is incredibly attractive.
All right.
Also turns out that she's an attorney.
Okay. All right.
Doing very well off because I saw her leave at some point in time, and she got in her car, and I was like, wow, that's a really nice car. And she was had everything going on, right? So my buddy gets...
she got a car and
she got a car, she got a whip.
Damn.
She got a whip. She a lawyer, got a car, she got boobies.
She was all dressed up. I'm like, how did you pull this off? And he gets
come on.
So he gets a number, all right? So it turns out she lives in the South area, right? So I'm down there for a weekend with my buddy again. He scores a date with this girl. We play golf. Then we go to a bar that we know real quick. He's not going to meet her until like 6:30ish.
All right.
It's 3. Okay? Right. So we get a couple beers. I'm like, look, I'm going to go back to my hotel room. I'm going to get a shower. I'm going to go get my pizza, probably just crash early, whatever. Because I know he's going out on a date somewhere else, right? I get a text message at 8:45. Dude, I fell asleep when we got back to the room. I just woke up. They're supposed to meet at 6:30. I was like, what about your date? He's like, she won't text me back.
No car, no booze.
I mean, he just sat on the bed, laid back, and he goes, "I woke up, it was 8:30." I was like, and she won't answer your text. He's like, I've texted her like 6 times, man. She won't reply.
You got to stop texting that. I mean, look.
I was like, I'll do it.
At the 2-hour mark, you have officially,
because I think she was supposed to meet. She was meeting him there at this place, and she had been there for a while. Because he just said, "The hell with it, I'm going to go there." Right. So he goes to the bar and says, "Hey," and he's like, "Yeah, man, she was here for a while. She was not."
You're not
she was not, because it was her spot. It was like,
right, and getting stood up is awful. Because you've already told the bartender.
Yeah, I'm expecting someone.
Expected someone tonight.
No, I'm saving this bar stool.
Yeah, it was like her spot that she goes to. She knew the people there. Great food. Go there all the time. Blah blah blah. Like that was where they were going.
Oh no.
Where and when did you fall asleep? 206-421-ROCK.
New on Curiosity Stream.
From time to time, we have collisions between asteroids and the Earth.
We track them, we study them, we hope the big one never comes. Don't look up, it's Asteroid Rush. And alligators. They rarely get sick. They even outlasted the dinosaurs. Could they hold the secret to human longevity?
Their blood could have antibacterial applications.
Wade into the investigation on immortal alligators. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
Well, great balls of fire, Bubba. What happened, Bilford? That crazy son of a Sal blew right through that four-way stop on Main Street and plowed into my cowboy Cadillac.
Your what?
My pickup truck. And I'm pretty sure my leg is broken, Ted. Oh, quit your bitching, Buford, and talk with those side busters at the Advocates Law Firm. When I got busted up last month, well, shoot, they made sure those snakes at the insurance company played fair.
Boy, howdy. Even that creepy so-and-so Kyle earned his keep.
So if you get injured, the advocates get results. AdvocatesLaw.com.
101.9 KISW. The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill.
Coming up, we'll drink and toast in the weekend with a shot of the day. Then it's Bad Choice Friday time.
You know it's Bad Choice Friday.
It's Bad Choice Friday.
You know it's Bad Choice Friday.
Hey man, this is your fault.
We just went with the forecast. Songs about rain on a Bad Choice Friday featuring B.J. Thomas.
Raindrops are falling on my head. And just
all right, Miles. Name another song from B.J. Thomas.
Hooked on a Feeling.
For real?
Yeah.
Okay. Boom! I have to take your word for it.
Yeah, Montgomery.
All right, Ted. Name a third song from B.J. Thomas.
Not my game.
Does he have any other songs we would know?
I know two. Okay. You asked me to name another.
Hey, look,
two.
You knew enough.
Yeah.
No, you got me. You got me, man. Yeah.
B.J. Thomas and Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head, taking on the Weather Girls on a Bad Choice Friday.
Miles.
No, I can't. I can only do so much.
Is this their only? They had nothing else.
I don't believe so.
The man who's saying Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head had another hit.
Weather Girls, just one hit.
Just one. That's it.
Pretty sure.
Well, here's how you have one hit. You always have that second one they push out, but nobody listens to.
That's the problem.
The Weather Girls probably had a slow jam, but we didn't know that.
Slow jam with the Weather Girl.
Not for a minute or so.
You guys ready for some downer news?
Sure.
B.J. Thomas died almost on this day a year ago.
Oh, God.
Yeah, he did pass away.
May 30th, last year.
We're saluting him.
How do you know he's even dead? What is it with you and B.J. Thomas?
I just remember seeing it in the news. He died during the COVID stuff.
I'm sure I read it too. I would not know who it is.
Have you never seen his B.J. Thomas wall?
Right. I couldn't even get it out. Pictures
Just trying to B.J. Thomas.
You ever seen B.J. Thomas?
I don't even know what he looks like.
He looks like a hold on. He looks like a manufactured soap opera star.
So he's a good-looking dude.
I mean, he's just got one of those jaws. You know what I mean? He's that guy.
That's what I'm saying.
He doesn't sound like
this. Does not sound like a dude.
He does not look like this guy.
Yeah, he's kind of got that vibe going on, man.
He used to have like a TV show.
Look, no offense to B.J. Thomas. I know this is a famous song, but at the time that he was popular, now that I'm looking at his picture, he's kind of like Meatloaf's Bad Out of Hell album cover. It's very misleading. This is not what I'd expect this guy.
I think the guy is genius. I bet he got more.
Hey, you're not hearing this?
I bet you know what? I bet he got more than anybody else.
He didn't get more than anybody else.
But he got a lot more.
He got a lot more than us.
He got a lot more. No, he got a ton. And you know
more
why?
than who?
Because of his name. Think about it.
I'm going to make you live up to your name.
Yeah, seriously. Okay. Okay.
All right.
Why do they call you BJ? Okay. And you know it worked in his favor. Good looking dude.
For him.
Got his own, yes. On his own TV show.
Unless he went to jail.
Hell yeah.
Hey,
that worked.
I heard your name.
You know that worked.
I'm going to need a U.
Yeah. Vote for Bad Choice Fridays.
Oh, my pocket.
On Twitter and Men's Room Live.
We just called the Thomas.
I bet it did. I bet there's a little known fact about BJ Thomas. All the time.
You think so?
Yes. More than like Adam West. People say people at the same time.
Adam West got more ass than BJ Thomas.
More than Batman.
I don't think anyone got more ass than Batman. When you were Batman at that time, you were the man. They said that when they filmed the TV show Batman, he and the guy that played Robin, Burt Ward, both of them. All right, so like anything
Burt
you
Ward
film
didn't get laid.
Oh, yes, he did.
They both did, dude. And they said they'd be in the dressing room and they would like tag team. Think of this is the Batman TV show. Between takes, they notoriously were slaying it in the back because chicks loved them. And basically when they said, hey man, we need you in two, like give me three. He was Adam West.
I'm already into.
And keep in mind,
I'm Batman. Wow.
According to them, it wasn't just Burt Ward and Adam West, but they said like Sid Caesar, Burt, all the guys that played the villains, like because they were all friends, man.
So they were like in real life,
right?
It's like wrestling.
They were like, look, man, when we're taping, all these groupies show up, and we all got a dressing room, and they just went in there. Yeah, did their thing.
This guy sang this song and then just slayed it.
There's no way.
Yes, he did.
For sure.
He did.
Think
He's ukulele guy. No, he's not.
Wait a minute. Is this a ukulele or
I don't
guitar?
think it's a ukulele, but this is glorified ukulele. If you choose to play your guitar like this,
you know Hooked on a Feeling, right? So I mean, you know BJ Thomas.
Blue Suede did it better.
But now I feel bad, man.
Wow. What?
He was a family man. He was married to Gloria from 1968 to 2021.
Oh, he was with the same woman that long. Yeah,
Really?
Miles.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
Oh, he was cheating on her then. Hope they don't have any family in the area. Our question. Where and when did you fall asleep? 206-421-ROCK.
Because the best song doesn't pull ass.
She is the best.
She's probably the best.
The best. Like, oh, God.
Like old Nancy.
I'm done.
Hello, Steve. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, Tres Picholas.
Hola.
It's Steve. The thrill is over hill.
I hope you're talking about you, right?
That's me.
All right.
Oh, okay.
The same name.
I see.
Oh, do you?
I'm your white brother. Yeah.
Your white brother. Sounds like a TV show.
White brother.
Yep. And so I was
Special episode of Brother-in-Law.
Spin-off White Brother.
Back in,
Khakis and
back
high
in
socks.
69.
All right.
Okay.
Back in 69, I was in the Air Force basic training and taking classes during the day, and I fell asleep, and the guy told me to go stand in the corner, and I fell asleep standing up, and he was going to throw me in the frickin' clink in the hoosegow, lock me up and all that until he found out I was on guard duty all night, so I had a good excuse.
Man, I'll tell you what, the Army, the military's hardcore.
Yeah, Air Force, yeah, but that was bad news. Yeah, I could have been locked up and... Whoo-wee.
I don't think I would have done very well in the military.
No.
And then
Not 18-year-old me.
Then there was the time coming back from closing time on the motorcycle, and it was a good half mile down the road before I woke up. And that wasn't good at all. That got the adrenaline rush.
Yeah, I bet it did. When you realize you've gone a half mile and you were unconscious. Yeah.
Yeah, that's bad.
Did you hear that, kids? He wants to let you know.
White Steve.
White Steve says if you fall asleep at the wheel and drive a half mile, that is not good. And we agree.
Where and when did you fall asleep? 206-421-ROCK.
I was just picturing now. Like I told you, he's staying out with a guy at tailgates. We called Black Ted. So it was 2 Teds. But I never thought about being Black Ted. I'm your white brother.
You should do it next time.
I would.
You know what would be even better about Black Ted? If he wasn't black. So like, why do you call you black? They're like, I don't know.
That's just. But you know my family. We keep that. I don't even know how the joke started, but that's what we call him.
I'm going to start doing that to someone.
Because he likes a burnt hot dog.
But like, have you met Black Miles? You're like, Miles? Yeah, Black Miles. Hello, Jim. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola.
All right, so another active duty member falling asleep. Was on deployment, working on flight deck of an aircraft carrier. Fell asleep, leaning up against an aircraft that was not turned on, with another many aircrafts taking off from the catapult 15 to 20 feet away.
How could you fall asleep up there like that?
Oh, you'd be surprised. It's really, really dark out there out at sea with no lights on.
Do you clip in or anything just in case you don't get blown off from an engine or just anything?
Oh, we do have flotation devices. If we were to get blown off the flight deck into the water, yeah.
That's comforting.
Because there's not a net on the back. There's a net on the front, but I didn't see a net on the back, right?
Yeah, there's nets on the sides, but I mean, if you're going to get blown off the side, you're not going to catch that net.
You're gonna go past it, is what you're saying?
Oh yeah, you'll get thrown out quite a ways.
Have you ever seen that?
Personally, I have not seen anybody being blown off, but I have seen somebody actually down into the water. Yes.
And they were okay?
Oh, one guy broke his leg, and the other guy was just fine.
Okay.
How far is the drop?
I was going to say it seems ridiculously high.
I think it's 8 stories.
Jesus, man. Yeah.
Because when you take that tour of the Midway, again, if you're ever in San Diego, you got to do it. You look down, you're like, man, I cannot imagine.
No.
Falling off that thing. It just makes me sick.
What was that?
I said the Midway is actually shorter than the bigger carriers.
Well, and it's still terrifying.
Yeah, Miles, candy ass.
Right, exactly. That's why I go to the back of the boat where the Starbucks is and just get a coffee before I leave.
Is there a Starbucks on the Midway?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just like
I've learned more about this damn boat in the last 6 months than I ever did in history class.
It's just like...
It is amazing. I've heard about the Midway since I've been a child.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You went there twice, Miles, and I don't know, I'm right there with Ted. I've learned more about the makeup of this boat, what it's used for, than anything they ever taught me in class.
Is that the one where they play a college hoops game in November or something? Or October?
I don't know.
That's a new thing. They kick off. You know what? It's probably around Veterans Day in November 11th.
That would make sense, yes.
But they'll play. I don't know if it's on the Midway or maybe it's a different aircraft carrier down there. But it's always San Diego because you can almost guarantee it'll be nice weather. And they lay down a basketball court, a real one, on the boat and play there.
They could probably do it underneath a hangar too.
You know what I think they should do? They should have Cher show up once a year just to recreate her video, right?
Hey, look, you're talking to the wrong guy.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. You'd be there.
Oh, yeah.
And you would not be alone.
I'm mentally there right now.
Yeah. In the future. Where and when did you fall asleep? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Samantha. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So, this actually is my aunt. Back when she was a kid, sometime in the 70s, she and a friend of hers were playing in a camper trailer, and she and her fell asleep in one of those hanging the bed that's over the driving cab. And the neighbor ended up taking their trailer with them to work that day because I guess they were going camping or something that weekend.
Jesus.
And the kids fell asleep in there. On top of that, and 6 hours later, they're woken up by not only the neighbor, but 20 cop cars that finally found them.
Samantha, you don't know this, so I'm going to share this with you, just like we did with the listener yesterday. There's something up with our phone lines, all right? So inexplicably, inadvertently, but every once in a while, somebody calls and they sound like a Mickey Mouse character. Today, our phone
we had one yesterday.
Yeah, we had one yesterday.
We had one yesterday.
Today it is you. So your entire story, no matter what, sounds like Mickey Mouse Club.
It was very entertaining.
Try putting her on hold and then bringing her back on here.
All right, I'm going to try to put you on
laughing. That's
that
not
giggle,
helping.
man.
I know. All right, Should I pick it up?
Yep.
Okay.
See what we got.
All right, Samantha, talk to us again.
Okay, so this was the story about my aunt. She fell asleep.
No, we got the story. We wanted to see if we could fix your voice. Our phones are still messed up. Maybe you should absolutely download the podcast of this show later so you can hear what you sounded like.
But call us back.
Yeah.
We would actually like to hear your story. I didn't understand any of it. So. What in the hell? Is it one line that's coming through on that?
No, it's a glitch in the system to be.
So it's like a modulation thing. And it's a brand new studio.
We might have to reset.
Miles, I'm with you. I didn't catch any of that story.
I didn't either. I was trying to.
Well, and it's a great story. I mean, it's about her aunt.
Don't spoil it.
Yeah.
Where and when did you fall asleep? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Taylor. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola. I've got a doozy for you guys. When I was in high school, I was in the play Diary of Anne Frank. We did like 7 nights in a row. Exhausting work, but on closing night, they brought in 2 Holocaust survivors to watch the play. After the show, they came over to talk to us to tell us their story, and I fell asleep.
Oh! You fell asleep during the story?
Yep.
I mean, was it real obvious? Did everyone know you were asleep, or did you only realize you'd fallen asleep?
I sat down right next to my director, and she was not happy.
Were they bad storytellers?
No, I was just exhausted.
Okay, all right. Fair enough.
She was telling this heart-wrenching story, and I felt so bad. But to make it worse,
But you didn't know. But you didn't know because you fell asleep.
Yeah, how do you know it's heart-wrenching?
That's true.
You slept there, though.
Right.
I remember the very beginning, but...
But it wasn't good enough to keep you there. You're right, man. It's all optics.
Apparently not.
I mean, literally, it's all like, you might be super tired. You fall asleep at a funeral. Everyone gets mad at you. You know? And it's like, man, I'm just tired. I don't mean it as a disrespect. I'm just super duper tired. But if at that same time, instead of a funeral, you're at a movie, nobody cares. So it's one of those things you realize if I'm at a funeral, you have to fight through this, man.
I've definitely almost fallen asleep at a wedding.
Yeah.
It's like you go out the night before and party with everybody, and it's a Catholic wedding, so it's like an hour and a half, hour 40 minutes.
I really think that's why
it's like hot out, and you're just sitting there like, I'm going to fall asleep.
I think it's why a lot of groomsmen and bridesmaids end up passing out while they're standing up there for a long period of time in shoes that they normally would not wear. They're not their shoes. They're standing there, and then you
literally
passing
can't
out.
move.
Literally, you're falling asleep. Basically, you're gonna black out. You're gonna face plant.
Yeah, my cousin Tom's wedding, man. It was in the summer in Maryland. It was so hot at the rehearsal dinner. Before the rehearsal, right? Just the rehearsal for the actual wedding.
Yeah.
And the priest was like, just bend your knees once in a while. We were like,
Yeah,
what?
make sure.
He was like, people fall out all the time. And he's like, it's going to be sweltering in here tomorrow.
And he would know.
Yeah.
He's probably like, I do this S all the time.
Where and when did you fall asleep? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Drevick. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola!
Hola!
Hold on a second. Let me plug it into my car. Oh, I can't do that. All right, never mind. Sorry, I'm driving, guys.
No problem.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Wait. Oh, are you waiting for me?
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
I mean, no, how it works.
You're good.
I fell asleep in the Congo River at Wild Wave one year. I was following these cute girls in there, and then they ended up hopping out. And I just kept floating around.
So it's basically a lazy river that's a loop, though, right?
Yeah.
Well, all lazy rivers are loose.
How long were you asleep on the Congo?
I think I might have been in there about 2 hours. It was like the hottest day of the summer, and with the water, the sun reflecting off of it, I got I think 3rd-degree burns is the worst one, right?
Yes.
Oh. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got 3rd-degree burns. I just remember crying like a little girl for about 3 weeks, and my mom yelling at me for crying.
How old were you?
It must have been about, this is yesterday. It must have been about 16, 17, I think.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's about the age that you'll float on a lazy river to chase.
It does feel like you could fall asleep when you're floating one of those things.
They call it a lazy river.
Or Vegas. MGM has a great lazy river.
Is it MGM? I thought, or the Venetian?
There might be a couple. I just know the one of the MGM's awesome.
How big is it? Like, if you did one loop, how long would it take about?
I don't know, but it's big.
All right.
And it takes a minute.
I might need to do that next time I go, man.
So you got the float-up bar?
It doesn't have a swim-up bar, but there's Chase Lounge. So they have like a day club.
Right.
I guess if you want to pay money and go see a DJ during the day. But the Lazy River is just a bunch of lounge chairs, waitresses coming up. What do you want? Like bucket of beer, giant frozen drinks?
I'm in.
And then you're right. Like I guess it's like 8 to 10 minutes. You see the same group of people. Like,
okay.
Then you realize you're in a mall. This is not the Lazy River. Why is there a guy with a gondola? Where and when did you fall asleep? We've got Ted versus the FCC coming up. You're listening to The Men's Room.
New on Curiosity Stream.
With my infrared drone, I can see what others can't.
Drone pilot Doug Thron uses his bird's eye view for the ultimate good, saving animals from desperate situations around the globe. Join the rescue effort on a new season of Doug to the Rescue. And
You captured a Confederate steamboat?
We're taking the ship to freedom.
an enslaved crew, a stolen vessel, and a Civil War dash to salvation on impossible escapes. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too big to fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.